Friends, today we are going to talk about misogyny in Indian politics. Kamal Nath used the word item for Imarti Devi. This is one example where politicians use sexual slurs, even when they deny it, to enforce social hierarchies. But I'm sure that the Kamal Nath, former Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, wouldn't have used it for women who come from feudal families or established political backgrounds or women MPs who has been there for 2 to 3 decades. But it's easy for him to use this word against someone who is not that powerful or not big in that stature. So sexual slur and misogyny in Indian politics tells us about a lot of things. One, India has seen a lot of women politicians. India has seen a lot of politicians in pre-independence era. Bikaji Kama or Vijay Lakshmi Pandit. I can just go on. Lakshmi Sehgal, revolutionary, patriots. Women have played a very important role. Even in post-independent India, Indira Gandhi, Vijay Raje Scindia, Vasundhara Raje Scindia, Sushma Swaraj, Nirmala Sitharaman, Sonia Gandhi, and I can just go on. Mayawati, Jayalalitha, Mamata Banerjee. Number of politicians, apart from who have been MPs also, they have played a very important part. But then the misogyny in Indian politics is very, very unique. It character assassinates women. So the issue is why powerful women politicians in India are called temperamental. It is because that it stems from deep-rooted patriarchy and misogyny. So a woman who is not married, who does not have children, who is unrestrained, who does not depend on the family setup, they will be temperamental. They will be unrestrained. They will be someone who cannot be judged. So Mayawati, Jayalalitha, and most important of all in this case, Mamata Banerjee, they are called temperamental women. Even Sushma Swaraj, a brilliant politician, got reduced to her bindi. Smriti Irani, who came from nowhere, has become a powerful politician, gets reduced to her sari, her bindi, or even her mang. Why? Because women are judged in a particular way. Everyone knows people drink, but the first charge against the Chief Minister of Rajasthan then, Vasundhara Raje Scindia, in early 2000 was 8 p.m. no CM. It's like as if no other politician likes a drink after 8 p.m. But this is something which is very specific to Indian politics. So I think misogyny not only needs to be criticized, it needs to be understood that it pervades all parts of Indian politics, and women become victim of misogyny. And misogyny enforces patriarchal values, enforces bad behavior, and we have also seen that by enforcement of bad behavior, caste bias is also somehow reinforced. For example, if you look at the statement of Kamal Nath, it is also about social hierarchy. You're using a violent sexual slur to create a class consciousness that there's a difference between him and Imarti Devi. Similarly, all other women politicians, for example, Indira Gandhi, from goddess Durga, she became a witch. Obviously, there are a lot of issues associated with Indira, but both from divinity to witch. These are the words in which you categorize women. So a woman's rise to power, again, will not be seen out of her own inner strength. Either she needs to have a political godfather, or she needs to have a boyfriend, or she needs to have a paramour in Indian politics. But then in the stereotype would be she has come because there were men helping out. I think this clutter needs to be broken, and I think women are also responsible for it. Women in politics also pander to conservative values to become successful politicians. Indira Gandhi did it. For example, I would say Sonia Gandhi first pushed for her son Rahul Gandhi, or for example, there are numerous other politicians who have pushed for their sons. The former Chief Minister of Rajasthan, as I said, Vasundhara Raje Scindia, she pushed for her son. So patriarchy exists not only because that those values are being pushed by men, women also use these values to push their political agendas because they know they can't defeat a conservative constituency, so they want to make use of this conservative constituency. So I think what we witness in context of Kamal Nath was pure misogyny, pure patriarchy, and I think it needs to be broken, and women who come from protected, feudal, established backgrounds and they make it into politics, at least for the sake of those women who do not come from these backgrounds, they should create atmosphere and an environment in which they could flourish. For example, I would close my argument that for bachelor politicians like Narendra Modi, Naveen Patnaik, or even a person who's almost bachelor, Nitish Kumar, no such arguments will be made. But a bachelor woman politician, she will be run down, put under a bus, and she'll be character assassinated. So this is Kartikeya Sharma signing off. Over on.